Good January the 13th. I'm Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace, where you can go right now and get anything you need for the cold. If we get any snow, which we probably will, they've got salt, they've got shovels, they've got sleds, they've got, well, I'm not saying it. Now, wait a minute. Don't get ahead of me. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Is it going to be that much snow? Mm, Not necessarily. The cold is going to be the bigger story. I think I've made that pretty clear over the last several days. Yeah, we'll get some snow. We're going to get some snow, but it's not going to be like a whole bunch. And to me, a whole bunch is like 4 to 6 inches. I don't think it's going to be that much. It's gonna be closer to 1 to 2, maybe 3 in a couple of spots closer to the Tennessee border. But for some of you, that's enough to, get excited about. And certainly it's the first snow of the winter season, so it is something to get excited about. But I'm more concerned about the cold because this is the kind of cold that we have not seen in a very long time. And when you're talking about winds coming in with solar air, wind chill factors getting down to around 10 below zero, that's a concern. So I want you to focus. I know it's easy to focus on snow. How much snow we going to get? How much snow we going to get? Woo, 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 all that. But you really, on the more serious, you need to be concerned about the cold. So let's focus on that right now. And the colder air has come in this morning. You can already feel it. I'll show you some of the numbers here from the Mesonet network in just a moment. Here's a look at the satellite view, and you can see that already there are several advisories that have been put up for, uh, you know, different things. We've got different things going on here. First of all, Middle Tennessee is under a winter storm watch. Okay, now that comes right up to the Kentucky border. This is going to start tomorrow evening and go through Tuesday morning. And this is in anticipation of these little disturbances coming through with bursts of snow. Travel, as it says here, could be very difficult. Hazardous conditions the morning or evening commute, and that's mainly on Monday or even Tuesday. Wind chills as low as 5 below zero could result in hypothermia. So, even now, Nashville and Middle Tennessee, their criteria for a winter storm watch is just a little bit different than us. And that's why you don't see any advisory criteria or anything in Kentucky yet until you get to the northern part of the state, and that's a wind chill advisory. How long has it been since we've had a wind chill advisory? I don't know, but it's a rare thing. So wind chills expected to be around 10 below zero to as low as 15 below zero. Central southern Indiana, north and central Kentucky. This is going to start 1 a.m. tomorrow morning and go through pretty much 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So there you go. Wind chill advisories to the north. We do have some wind chill warnings back to the west toward the St. Louis area. And then you've got this winter storm warning or watch, I should say. This will likely go to a warning at some point over the next 24 hours. Otherwise, skies are clear this morning across the area. We don't have anything. Today is going to be a pretty tame day. It's just going to be much colder. But in perspective, today is going to be the warmest of the next 7 days. You didn't want to hear that, did you? Ooh, there was you could have heard a cricket at that point when I said that. So, yeah, let's take a look at temperatures. Kentucky Mesonet Network, and you can see that we are starting out in the 20s this morning and low 20s back to the west, especially. And this is where the coldest air resides right now, but that's going to move east. So over time, we're going to get much colder. It's in the east, almost 30 in a couple of spots here in southern Kentucky as of current time is 7:05 as I do this podcast. So yeah, we're chilly this morning, much colder than it has been. The winds have died down. They're still coming out of the west, 5, 10, 15. That's sustained. Let's check the gusts. And we're still getting occasional gust of 20 to 25 miles per hour from the west. So that's producing a bit of a chill in the air. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. Wind chill. So there's the wind chill factor. This is the way it feels when you step outside with the temperatures in the 20s and you get the winds from the west gusting to 20, 25, makes it feel like it's in the teens. So you need to dress for the teens, temperatures in the teens, how it's going to feel. And this is warm compared to what it's going to be. It's really starting tonight and through the next several days. And as the temperatures get colder and colder, oh, it's only going to get worse. And I'm just kind of afraid, and I've been saying it the last couple of days on television when I've been doing the weather that I'm just afraid that we're not completely prepared for what's coming. Not the snow part, but the cold part. Because there's just going to be people that are just going to be shocked at how cold it's going to get. And I just want you guys, however many hundred are in here watching at the moment. Um, I just want you guys to be ready for this. I don't want you to be caught off guard. There will be some that's caught off guard and they're going to like, what happened? When did I don't remember you talking about this. Really? That's all I've been talking about. When you talk about snow, then people are like, what did he say? What did he say? How much snow we're going to get? How much? Oh, but then when you talk about dangerous cold, whatever. It's cold. It's winter. It's cold. I don't care. And then when stuff starts to happen, pipes start to burst, heat goes off, power goes off, and all this, it's everybody's like, what happened? Well, this happened. Here's a look at the blend of models and just how cold it's going to get. So today, as you can see, is projected to be the warmest day out of pretty much the next 10 days. 10. Well, almost. You see at the end, we do recuperate and go back into the 40s to near 50, but that's all the way to Tuesday after next, not this coming Tuesday, Tuesday after next, the 23rd of January. That's a long way off. So today's the last of the really warm days. Tonight we'll get down to about 11, 12, somewhere in there. Wind chills will be near zero. Tomorrow we'll barely crack 20 for a high temperature. And the next 3 days after that, 20s and single digit lows. You see there's 6, and it could go colder than that, really. If there's a snowpack on the ground, snowpack takes that temperature down even more by about 4 or 5 degrees colder than what the actual air temperature is. So near zero, yeah, it's possible. And that's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We do moderate a little bit after that, but then we have another system that is going to come in next Thursday, this coming Thursday. That's going to bring us combination of rain, maybe snow, And then we go down in temperature yet again. You see 20s, teens for overnight lows, could get colder than that. Then we moderate, but that's all the way to the 23rd. And today is just the 13th. So 10 days from now is the next time we maybe get into the 40s and 50s. Yes. I heard somebody say, yikes. I heard somebody else say, wow. And then I heard somebody else out in the countryside say, uh uh, uh-huh. It's happening. I can't emphasize enough. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast here for how these systems are going to come in. And it's just as I've alluded to this, it's a parade of storms. You get a cold front, you get a disturbance, you get these, these low pressure systems that just seem to be just kind of floating out there. And as you can see out west, there's more of these to come, and they're just going to parade one after the other right across the country into our neck of the woods. And the number one fundamental thing that you have to have in order to have snow is a foundation of cold air. And we're going to have that. The second thing, of course, you got to have, and really it's one and two, interspersed, is moisture. And we'll have that. But where is the best moisture going to be? Well, let's explore that. Here's today. North of us, snow everywhere. Great Lakes, heavy snows, all kinds of problems. North of the Mason-Dixon line, it's just going to continue to be that way. But we have more of a southern stream, southern stream Pacific system that's coming in that is going to spread moisture a little bit more west to east and not so much north of us. This is into Sunday morning. We get a few flurries, some snow showers, maybe tonight as temperatures get down into the teens or close to 10, maybe 11. So whatever falls tonight will stick, but I don't foresee this as being that big of a deal tonight. So here we go into Sunday morning, midday, and afternoon into early Monday. This is where that Pacific storm begins to tap into some Gulf of Mexico moisture. And we start to see this spread of snow, light snow, that's going to start spreading from west to east across the area. I think as we get into Sunday night and Monday morning, this is when we're going to find the highest level of, if you will, travel problems. Monday morning, when you get ready to go to work, it should be snowing. How hard is a big question mark, but it will be snowing enough and it will be cold enough to cause travel issues. Now, they can come out and salt the roads, brine, they use this salt and brine mixture, but it's only good till about 27, 28 degrees. Anything under that, or if it rains, it's not going to rain, by the way, it's all snow. But it's ineffective after that. The only thing you can do is scrape uh, in that case. So this is why I'm telling you that Sunday night into Monday morning is going to be that most hazardous time for travel, right when you go to work Monday morning. And you can see here comes a little bit of heavier snow. This is Monday late morning going into, let's see, what, 12Z. So we're looking at what, 7 a.m. Yeah. This is when we start to see those little heavier bands of snow kicking up. And then it comes right through the day into, this is Tuesday morning about the same time. So all day Monday, it's going to be off and on snow showers. It's going to be accumulating, but not so much in a way to where it's just paralyzing. But it doesn't take much for us. Have you noticed that? It's because it doesn't happen that often. It doesn't take much for us to just panic. Okay. Especially the first one of the season. And this is the first one of the season. Cold enough and enough moisture, yes, to cause issues Monday morning, especially. And then we get into Tuesday, still some leftover snow showers. The coldest air really starts to take over. This is when we're get into Wednesday. This is when maybe highs in the teens and lows near zero, wind chills 10 below zero. And then here comes another system. This one's Thursday into Friday. And here we go again. And the models have been, the further out you go, of course, there's going to be this. Some of the models say it's going to be a little rain mixed in. Other models are saying all snow. It's one of those situations you get this far out, a week out, and they start to diverge, going different directions on what's going to happen. So this I wouldn't put too much stock in, except that it would be cold enough for snow next Friday. Okay. So I want you to pay attention to that and know that that's a real possibility. Okay. Now let's move on to the next thing here. I want to show you some slides from the National Weather Service, and this coming out of the Louisville office, but in coordination with the office in Nashville. So you may think, well, Louisville's north. Of course, they're always going to have a bias of colder and snow. True. But the Nashville office, they've already got a winter storm watch up. And again, as I mentioned, the criteria just a little bit different than it is the thresholds for Kentucky. So we need to take that in mind. And so a combination of things here, which is valid for us to pay attention to. Today, as you can see, light snow showers, maybe this morning in a couple of spots, not a big deal. And then the cold front and snow showers tonight, that's what's going to bring our temperatures down into the teens overnight tonight. Then tomorrow, wind chills between minus 14 and minus 10, but that's along and north of the Ohio River. Again, that's the Louisville bias. Here, not so much. Wind chills maybe 0 to, you know, +2 or so. I don't think the -8's going to be us in southern Kentucky tonight. As we get into late Sunday night into Monday, that's the best chance for snow showers. And again, if I could put a highlight there on Monday, it would be Monday morning travel issues. That for us, for everybody. The wind chills, yep, cold again. Snow showers again on Tuesday, and then Wednesday with the snowpack and the cold air and the coldest air, that's when we could have some other issues to go along with that. And that, maybe power outages, you know, better chance of hypothermia if you're not careful, frostbite, things like that. All right. The light snow chances tonight. Here's Bowling Green. We're kind of on the lower end of things. The higher end for this first wave is further central and east from about Campbellsville over toward I-75. Slick roads overnight, dusting of snow, everything east of I-65, medium confidence that that's going to happen. Okay. So pick your location there. And again, you see here, chance for a dusting to maybe a half inch. That's tonight. That's step one. All right. Wind chill factor. Wind chill advisories in effect for Sunday morning, tomorrow morning. And that again is all north of the Bowling Green, Southern Kentucky area. Probability of wind chills below 10 below. When you use the word below twice, whoo, that's cold. That's Wednesday morning, and that's when the coldest of air is going to take over. And I would say at that point, we will have wind chill, maybe warnings. The Arctic West this week, and I've highlighted this before, this chart keeps changing some, but not all that much. This is the part that we are 100% confident in. Look down here at the confidence meter. high, extra high, that this is going to happen. Minimum wind chill for Bowling Green is going to be -9, and that's happening Wednesday morning. That will be the prime time for the coldest of wind chills, the coldest of air, and with the snowpack on the ground. I think Monday morning is the more hazardous side of things. But as you can see, the wind chills will be in the teens and single digits. But the coldest part of this system is going to be Wednesday morning. Critical that everybody pays attention to that. Okay, snowfall impacts. This is not the amount, this is the impact. Probability of minor winter storm impacts, because we're not looking at a bunch of snow. We're looking at just enough to cause hazardous driving conditions. So, Sunday morning, Sunday night into early Monday, then again on Tuesday, you see the further south you get, the more impact that this is going to be. Medium confidence in the snow potential. It's hard to see, but in the yellow stripe here is Bowling Green, and even part of southern Kentucky is in that red 60 to 70% probability of impact on roadways. It's going to be a dry, powdery type snow. It's going to accumulate. Snow ratios may not be the usual 10-1. They could be 15-1 or even 20-1. And if that happens, there's enough dry air inclusion into the formation of the snowflakes. It's going to cause it to be powdery and not a wet, slushy snow. So it's going to be a packable snow, but it's also going to be hazardous. So there you go. Snowfall impact. There's your ratings. Now, probabilities. This is where everybody's like, okay, now we're to the juicy part. Well, just hang on. Just hang on just a little bit. 72, you gotta break this down, because first of all, snow is one of the hardest things to ever predict correctly. Okay. You have a lot of grandstanding that goes on. You have a lot of posers that happen, armchair weathercasters from home pulling up models and showing, golly, we're going to get 10 inches of snow. They pull that one model out of dozens of models that shows that, and they post it for clicks, likes, and shares. Okay. We have to take measured accountability for this. And so, you have to look at the fine line here. 72-hour snowfall, probability exceeding 1 inch. So over the next 72 hours, there is a 50 to 60% chance that we will see at least an inch of snow over the next 72 hours in the Bowling Green, Southern Kentucky area. Higher amounts, once you go over toward Lake Cumberland, Dale Hollow Lake, and into Tennessee, they're actually going to end up with more snow than we will. I know that seems backwards, because it should be like north of us should have more snow. But this will not be the case with this system. It's going to track more southerly, and that's where the best setup for accumulating snow is going to be, further south of Bowling Green and the Tennessee state line. Now, let's go over here, and even more, 72-hour snowfall exceeding 3 inches of snow. And you see, probably not at all north of us, north of E-Town. For us, a 20 to 30, maybe even a 40% chance that we could exceed 3 inches of snow during the next 3 days or so, 72 hours. See, this is where you split the hairs. And I know that a lot of you don't like to do that, but we have to. In order to put out a forecast, the Weather Service folks have looked and looked and looked at all this, and that's what they're looking at. So I'm going to, guesstimate here as I've been doing the last few nights, last few days, 1 to 2, maybe Southern Kentucky. The further south you go, maybe closer to 3, maybe closer to 4. You get on into East Tennessee, Central, Eastern Tennessee, more than that, 4 or 5. Who knows? But the closer we get to this, the easier that the picture becomes clear what's going to happen. Wind chill safety, just know that when the wind blows, you can't keep your normal average body temperature 98.6. Hypothermia will start to begin at, when the winds start to take away that heat shield around your body, your natural heat shield. Frostbite, hypothermia can occur in less than 30 minutes if you're outdoors. So please keep all of that in mind. Uh, we need to really pay attention to that part of everything that's going on because that's the most dangerous part. Yes, accidents happen, hazardous travel, that sort of thing, slick roads. Usually it's just bumper to bumper kind of stuff or slide off in a ditch but the hypothermia and the frostbite part of this system, that's really the most dangerous. And you got to think about pets. You got to think about folks that live by you that maybe don't have a heat source or they're elderly and they live by themselves. This is going to be one of those situations where you have to take that more serious, more serious than whatever snow we get. We're going to get snow, but how much still remains to be seen. All right. Gosh, I almost went 30 minutes. That's probably the longest one I've ever done, but there was a lot to talk about. So I will do another one of these updates tomorrow morning and we'll see how things play out there. But in the meantime, enjoy your Saturday. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later.